Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this massive tank from Aug Vape, the BOREAS RTA from Aug Vape, a 25mm 7.5mm capacity tank, 17.8mm build deck inside. The thing is an absolute giant. The only mod really that I can realistically put this on in my arsenal is the RX 200. It's because it's such a big beast of a tank. It's along the lines of these new style, you know, it's this new style of RTA, you know, a lot of 25mm RTAs coming out at the moment. This one's very well made and very fairly priced, so definitely worth considering. It's got a few other little quirks as well, which I'll show you up close. Velocity style deck, 7.5-ish mils of juice can get in here, no problem at all. Nice big build deck, very clean looks, very well built. We'll go down low, I'll show you it up close, we'll come back up top for some pros and cons. See you in a second. Okay guys, here we are up close with the BOREAS RTA from Aug Vape. This is the packaging, very cool. You can see that it comes in stainless steel or black. It's got the authenticity thing there too. If you pull this sleeve off, it's got some of the specs there as well. It's juice capacity and the size of the deck inside are its two sort of main selling points, if you like. So here we go, opening it up. Massive bag of spares, very cool, very good. We also get a spare glass tank and a spare deck as well. Now this deck has bigger juice flow holes, which I haven't needed at all. I'll be honest, it comes with 2mm holes down there or 2.5. This is the 2.5. I haven't needed that at all. I have not had a problem with wicking at all. But that's a nice option, I guess. I haven't needed it at all, but nice to have if you're going for insania builds, I guess. So let's pop that to one side. Here we go. This is the RTA. Big old glass section, big wide airflow. You can go from, let's do it, you can go from one hole on each side to 2 holes on each side, 3 holes on each side, and 4. And 4 is massive. It's so airy with the 4. Yeah, that is your option. You've got your 510 down here. Nice little copper pin. Not super protruding, but about right, I'd say. Very good. Designed by Aug Vape, written at the bottom. Very standard drip tip on top. Not unlike the Illyria, there's no sort of mechanism there at all. What actually happens is this airflow is also linked to the juice flow. So as you open this, it opens the juice flow. As you close it, it closes the juice flow. So something to bear in mind. It does mean it's probably worthwhile leaving this closed when not in use. Something to bear in mind. If we grab this top bit and start unscrewing, it will reveal the top fill. Literally dump all your 7.5 to 8mm of juice right in there for the win. That's pretty cool. When I first got it, that was very tight, this top bit, but it's absolutely fine now. Just needed one solid go. If we, right, let's be careful here, let's do this in the right way. Start unscrewing this bottom section. You'll see it comes completely apart for cleaning, which is good. There's your glass section there. Then you've got this section here. Now this can pop off as well. So it does completely come apart. Let's just give this a clean. Then the next thing you want to do is take off this bottom section here. More juice is gathered here. This is just the way it works. It's not that it leaks out or anything, it's just that it fills the whole base up and then feeds up to those wicks. So it looks a bit of a mess, like that it's getting all juiced up, but in reality it's not a problem, it's not a leaky piece as such. So now we've got the top side there, and we've got this very bottom piece here. And now what you can do is get your fingers underneath here and pull this bit out. You can also, if you give it enough of a tug, pull out your deck, and you can see big coils in there, big juicy old thing. And we've taken it all apart, and there is your deck. And as you can see from this, I have really not needed that bigger juice thing. I've got some big old Claptons in here, velocity style deck. It's got those holes underneath that wick up to the top, and standard affair, really standard affair, velocity deck RTA inside. But the thing to note is, look at those big lovely coils. It's a big old deck to work with, and it's been really good. So I'll put it back together, we'll go back up top and we'll talk about it some more. See you in a sec. Okay guys, that was the BOREAS up close and personal. Wow, what a tank, what a crazy tank. The potential of this tank, depending on how you vape, is massive. I mean, I would not say in any context at all this is a mouth to lung tank. This is for big clouds, big tasty clouds. I mean, I've got it on 3 holes open on each side. I've got it, it's a 0.5 build. I've got it at 65 watts. You saw the Claptons I've got in there. I don't recommend Claptons for it, but it just goes to show how much deck there is available to work with. I recommend just a very typical 0.3, 0.4 build, standard Canthal, standard wraps. Something like that probably works better. That's what I've had up to now, but I just wanted to play around and have a go with some Claptons in here, and it's vaping like this. Great performance. If you had a certain build in here, you had it wicked up a certain way, you could go 80-90 watts on this, no problem at all. It is absolutely built for big clouds and big vapor production. It's got a couple of kinky bits. It's got a couple of kinky things. First, the 2 things I would say to bear in mind with this are it's got a very interesting way of doing juice flow control. It's completely tied in to the airflow. So if you close the airflow, the juice flow is closed as well. If you open it all the way up, the juice flow is completely open. So if you've got 2 holes open, the juice flow is half open, and it's supposed to be the amount open it should be for your vaping style, which is great. And when you're refilling it, it's great. You just close the airflow, which closes the juice flow, and you start pouring the juice in the top, which is great for top fill. The one thing to bear in mind, obviously you can't do that old RTA trick of closing the juice flow and then sucking to get some juice in. You can't do that because obviously closing the airflow means closing the juice flow, so the juice isn't going to come through if you attempt to do that. So that's something to bear in mind. That's the only sort of thing I've thought of that's could potentially be a thing with not doing it like this. So that's something to bear in mind. The other thing to bear in mind, I would say, like a lot of these RTAs now, the wicking is a learning curve, and it might take you a couple of goes to nail that. I've found just basically just dangling the 2 down, not too much wick, but just dangling it down, making sure the wick is over those 2 juice flows, so it instantly touches the wicks instantly touch the juice, and it's constantly feeding it as a result. Seems to be the way. But if you pack that too much, it'll take too long to feed up. If you don't put enough in, the juice will pour in, and it'll get all very soggy in there very fast. So the wicking's a bit of a learning curve. So bear that in mind. But that's the only major sort of negative. The flavour's fantastic, the vapor production is fantastic, it's really well built, massive deck inside, should you need a massive deck in there. Incredible juice capacity. I don't think it's an ugly looking tank, it's very big, you need to bear that in mind as well. But it's got all that going on. In terms of if you're going to leave it for longer than 24 hours, I do recommend shutting down the juice flow control. You don't need it constantly feeding it if you're not constantly vaping it. So it's something to bear in mind, but not a problem at all. Quite a nice touch that you can do that. And if you're taking it on the move, close it right up. Take it on the move with you when you're ready to vape it, open it up, no problem at all. Again, it does wick really fast, really well. I've not needed the bigger juice holes at all, the second deck with the bigger holes. I think that's a nice touch though. So in terms of positives, great price, great build quality. Great price, great build quality, great flavour, great capacity, great deck inside. Nice that it has that second option. Nice that it comes with a spare tank and loads of spares. It's a really decent option, really worth checking out. With the velocity deck, very easy to build on as well. I'm a fan of this. I think it's good, very good indeed. Do I need this RTA in my life? No, I don't. I don't need that much juice capacity. I don't need it to be this big. But having said that, it's really good. Vapes really well, performs really well. Once you've got a build that you're happy with, you are good to go with this. If you're looking for a 25mm RTA, this should definitely be on the consideration list. So check it out. That's the BOREAS RTA from Aug Vape, augvape.com. I've been Vaping Vic, and I'll see you again soon. I've got loads coming up. I've got the Conqueror RTA. I've got the Simba ceramic sub-ohm tank from Ude. All kinds of things. Got the Lush, got the Dual P. I've got all kinds of things coming. Crazy amount of things. So please stay tuned if possible. I've been Vaping Vic, and I'll see you again soon.